My sweet boy. Mama will never let anything hurt you. A woman said gently in a sing-song tone. What if a mother's love was the most dangerous force in the world? What if her prayers for protection were so powerful, they built a prison of flesh and bone around her child? What if the only thing stronger than her love was the monster it created? This is not a story about a curse from the outside. This is a story about a curse from within. A tale of a love that suffocated, a protection that mutilated, and a mother who prayed to the wrong gods to keep her son safe. In a quiet village nestled in the highlands of Ethiopia, lived a widow named Sena. Sena's world was her son, Bini. He was a bright, curious boy with a laugh that could light up the darkest room. But Sena lived in the long, cold shadow of a memory, the death of her husband, Tidel, a brave hunter who had been torn apart by a rogue leopard. From that day on, fear became Sena's constant companion. Every time Bini climbed a tree, she saw the leopard. Every time he played near the forest's edge, she heard the growl. Her love for him was a frantic, smothering thing, a bird trying to cage its chick forever. Bini's spirit began to wilt under her constant vigilance. He wasn't allowed to play with the other boys. He wasn't allowed to explore. He was a prisoner of his mother's fear. Sena's sister, Amina, a woman of sturdy practicality, tried to reason with her. Sena, you cannot wrap him in cotton wool forever. A boy must test his strength. You are not protecting him, you are crippling him. But Sena would not listen. You don't understand, Amina. The world is full of teeth and claws. I will not lose him too. Her fear festered, becoming a desperate prayer that twisted into a dark plea. She went not to the village priest, but to a disreputable shaman who lived in a cave, a man who trafficked in desperate emotions. I want my son to be safe, Sena begged, her eyes wild. I want him to be so strong, so fearsome, that nothing in this world would ever dare harm him. Make him untouchable. The shaman, a gaunt man named Abasai, nodded. The spirit of the mountain, the Wani, can grant this. It is a spirit of immense strength and protection. But it is a wild thing. It does not understand gentle love. It only understands power and territory. To invite it in is to invite the mountain itself into your son's soul. Are you prepared for that? Blinded by her terror, Sena only heard the word protection. Yes. Do it. The ritual was performed. Abasai painted Bini's chest with symbols of the mountain, using a paste of ground rock and bitter herbs. That night, Bini cried out in his sleep, his small body twitching as if grappling with an invisible force. Sena slept soundly for the first time in years, believing her son was now safe. At first, the change was miraculous. This was the rhythm of joy. The initial, miraculous benefit. Bini, once timid, walked with a new confidence. When the village bully pushed him, Bini didn't cry. He stood his ground, and a low growl rumbled in his chest that was so deep, so unnatural, it sent the bully running. Sena was ecstatic. Her prayers were answered. Her son was strong. But the consequences began to creep in. Bini's appetite became monstrous. He would eat twice his weight in food, yet remain lean and wiry. His eyes, once warm and brown, developed a faint, yellow glint, like those of a predator caught in the torchlight. He became possessive. Violently so. If another child so much as touched one of his toys, Bini would snarl, his lips pulling back to reveal teeth that seemed sharper. The horror escalated one afternoon. A stray dog, barking and chasing a chicken, ran too close to Bini. In a blur of motion, Bini was on the dog. It wasn't a child's fight. It was an attack. A swift, brutal pounce followed by a sickening crunch. When Sena pulled him away, the dog was dead, its neck broken. Bini wasn't crying. He was panting, a look of feral satisfaction on his face, his hands curled into claws. The Waini was waking up. Sena tried to lock him in the house. But Bini, her sweet Bini, simply tore the door from its hinges as if it were paper. He began to spend more and more time in the forest, returning with feathers in his hair and the scent of blood on his clothes. He was no longer learning the ways of men. He was learning the ways of the mountain. The final, terrible transformation happened under the full moon. Sena, searching for him, found him in a clearing. Bini was on all fours, his body contorted. His spine was elongating, his shoulders broadening, and a coarse, gray fur was sprouting from his skin. His face was a grotesque mask of boy and beast, his mouth a maw of fangs. He let out a roar that shook the very trees. It was the sound of the mountain. It was the sound of the Waini. The protection was complete. Her son was now the most terrifying thing in the forest. The very monster she had sought to protect him from. The village was in an uproar. The beast boy was blamed for missing livestock, for the eerie feeling of being watched. Hunters gathered, vowing to kill the creature. Amina confronted Sena, her face ashen. "This is your doing, Sena. Your fear has done this. You didn't want a son, you wanted a fortress. And now you have created the very thing you feared." Sobbing, Sena returned to the shaman, Abasai. "Undo it. Please, take it back." Abasai shook his head, his expression grim. The Waini does not leave a host until the host is dead. It is a part of him now. The only way to separate them is to kill the boy. Or, you must offer it a greater prize. A more powerful soul to claim. Desperate, Sena devised a plan. She would lure Bini with the one thing the beast and the boy still shared, a love for her cooking. She would lead him to the sacred peak, where the veil between worlds was thin, and offer herself in his place. That night, she prepared his favorite meal and carried it up the mountain. She called his name into the darkness. He came. But it wasn't Bini. It was the Waini wearing her son's face, moving with a predator's grace. It stalked towards her, saliva dripping from its jowls. "Bini, my love," Sena whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I see you. I see the strong boy. And I see the beast. And I love you. I am so sorry. My fear did this to you." She opened her arms, a gesture of surrender, of apology. The beast hesitated. The boy's eyes flickered within the monster's gaze. "I offer myself," Sena said. "Take me. Leave my son." The Waini lunged. But at the last second, Amina and the village hunters emerged from the shadows, their spears aimed not at the beast, but at the ground between it and Sena. They had followed her. The distraction was enough. As the Waini turned its rage on the hunters, Sena did the only thing she could. She didn't fight the monster. She embraced it. She threw her arms around the horrifying creature, pressing her face against its coarse fur, pouring every ounce of her true, selfless love into the embrace. Not the smothering love of fear, but the freeing love of acceptance. "Be at peace, my son," she whispered. "I am not afraid of you anymore." A brilliant light erupted from where they touched. The Bini roared, not in anger, but in release. The monstrous form began to shrink, the fur receding, the bones shifting back. When the light faded, Bini lay on the ground, a normal, sleeping boy. And Sena was gone. In her place stood a magnificent, stone-gray leopard. It looked at the sleeping boy with ancient, knowing eyes, then turned and vanished into the forest, forever bound to the mountain, an eternal guardian who had paid the ultimate price for her love. Bini grew up with his Aunt Amina. He was a quiet man, but a good one. He was neither timid nor violent. He had a deep respect for the mountain, and it was said a gray leopard would sometimes be seen watching over him from a distance, a look of profound sorrow in its eyes. Sena had finally learned that true love is not a cage. It is the courage to let go. And in the end, her love was so strong, it became the very wilderness she had feared, just to keep her son safe. So the next time you love someone, ask yourself, are you building them a sanctuary? Or are you building them a cage? Are you protecting them from the world, or from themselves? What do you think? Was Sena a tragic hero who sacrificed everything, or was she the architect of her own destruction? Let me know in the comments below. Her story is a dark lesson for every parent. That love, when twisted by fear, can become the most dangerous force in a child's life, and that the greatest protection we can offer is sometimes the freedom to fall. Don't forget to subscribe to Safari of Tales and hit the bell icon so you never miss another journey into the heart of moral darkness. Until next time, love wisely.